Good afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a time for change call tonight after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. You want to make sure you're in a comfortable position. No outside distraction. Relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath rising and falling. Still as a statue. We're all moving at a very unprecedented velocity, unbeknownst to many. And the disintegration of the structure on the planet is in high gear. And what I mean by that is that we have a lot of exposure, things being revealed like never before. And also blatancy of actions on the planet that went on but not in the open. But now everything just about is becoming out in the open. And all of this is due, it's all connected to photon energy field that we are going through right now. This whole solar system is passing through, as I've mentioned many times, a photon energy belt. Where did it come from? It was created by the collective consciousness and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And this is kind of like the kick in the pants, I guess you could call it, for the planet and civilization as far as elimination of pure evil from the planet. And this is why everybody is witnessing in their own, everybody sees things differently for the most part. And it's like everything is expanding so quickly that many don't know how to absorb it or embrace it at all because it is so in everybody's face. It's actually a very positive thing because it's teaching us about evil. Now, of course, we all have our interpretation of evil. We've experienced certain things in our lives, this lifetime and many others. But for all of us, it is a lesson, a very powerful lesson, on evil actually showing itself on the planet openly, not in secrecy so much anymore. And there's so many people that they're seeing this for the first time, and they're blown away. Not in a million years did they ever believe that this planet or their country or certain people could be so low frequency. And yet, we're finding out bit by bit, and we're going to find out a lot more, a whole lot more, on the origin of the civilization. Where did it come from? Darwin's theory is absolutely crap. So where did it come from? Where did these vessels that we gods on this particular planet, on the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy, in this solar system, come from? Well, you get the feeling in heart-mindedness. You start to feel it. These vessels were created in a collaboration of the collective consciousness. You have to, you want to experience physical material life, so you want to be in a human body to be able to do that. Now, these bodies were created in perfection. You got to remember that. Now where we're at is not perfection from the standpoint of just in design. Okay? We, the gods, are divine perfection. We should be in a body that's divine perfection. Right? And this is how these bodies were designed, for divine perfection beings. The beings, the only thing that's real in this universe are the gods. Divine perfection, pure consciousness. And so these bodies at one time were divine perfection, to house a God of divine perfection. Okay? But due to meddling from other off-world beings throughout the ages, we are what we are right now. These bodies are. Okay? This is why we have such short lifespans. All the things that have been created, generated in these bodies to negate longevity. Total suppression of longevity for these bodies, so that we have to continually, you see the cycle, as I've spoken before, we continually are in this hamster wheel. We have a life. We don't have a clue about truths on this planet, because once we immerse into the body, we don't have memory before we enter the body. And we don't have memory leaving after we leave the body. These things are just, and when you snap all the pieces together, all the puzzle pieces, what you realize is that we're in this cycle. It's a circle. And it's around and around and around and around. And we're in a matrix. And the matrix dictates through ego mind so that we are directed without knowing over and over again in this cycle. So we don't really, while we're in physical material form, we don't have access to our library, to what it is, of past lives, future lives, existences, all the truths, right? All the untruths, the whole gambit, the whole picture. So now the only way that we would be able to, let's say, totally wake up is to have longevity. Okay? And I'm not talking about a few extra years. And you can read articles out there about scientists discovering this and scientists discovering that, but the population continues to age prematurely. See? And because of that, we don't have enough time. We aren't in the body long enough to discover a lot of things. And then we are rebooted with a completely wiped hard drive. And so we're rebooted, and we go back into a body, and we do the process again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Does it make any sense to anybody? No, not at all. No sense whatsoever. So we're not really in progression, so to speak. We're in the cycle. And the cycle is in the matrix. And the matrix has several layers of existence. This is why when I talk about it's all about you, everything is about you. You discover for yourself who and what you are. It has nothing to do, we're all one, but it has nothing to do from the perspective on this planet of separation, because there isn't any. So you focus on your space, and you focus moving out of ego mind into heart mind. I believe everybody that listens to these calls, live or recorded, are pretty much aware that we know what ego mind is. We know what it does, how it operates, how it influences us, which is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And so we also start to feel the draw to heart-mindedness. When we look at everything outside of you, it has nothing to do with anything. Everything has everything to do with what's inside of you. And then it affects everything around you. The actual molecular structure of the atmosphere around your body is altered depending on your direction, your beliefs, your perceptions, period. And it's a proven fact. This isn't guessing. This isn't supposizing or assuming. This actually happens all the time around each and every one of us. We alter the molecular composition around our bodies by what we believe, by our actions, period. And how we operate. Now, once we get a handle on this, doesn't it make sense that we focus on ourselves? And we're not talking ego mind. Ego mind would be selfishness and, a lot of negative frequencies. Heart mind is basically you're discovering who and what you are through your childlike curiosity, that you are pure consciousness and that body, or the body within the pure consciousness, however you want to look at it. And the body itself is a divine perfection vessel to house divine perfection essence. And what we do is that we create our lives on this planet. We design them from the ground up, from scratch, and we live them. We experience them. And along the way, we bump into manifesting certain things, and we're not aware that we are actually manifestors at all, because of the things that have been, how we've been taught, and how we've been trained on this planet, and through generations, how to believe, how to think, how to eat, how to sleep, everything. If you'll notice, it's all a supervisory capacity. Why would all-knowing, all-seeing, omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings who never die need to be controlled? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. We are the creators. Call us co-creators because we're all one, and there's many, literally countless numbers throughout existence and beyond, who collectively are plugged into each other and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And the irony to it is that while we're in these bodies on this planet, we live with amnesia. We don't have a clue about anything until we are what? Filled with information. By who? Others who were filled by information, and so on and so forth, by others. This is a constant cycle. And the information that we've been filled with is untrue. It's not truthful. This is why to go within is our only direction as a species, as a civilization, and to discover that you're the God, you never die. You're in the body temporarily, right? And you're here to experience and learn and enjoy your life. That's what you're here to do. You're not here to take life seriously because it's a passing thing. As we all know, we've all been with people, family members, whatever, and friends who are here one day and gone the next. Right? And so we know that this is why we talk so much about the now, which is the gateway to heart-mind. I'm not saying it's easy peasy for a lot of people because of the habits and what we've been taught on this planet, in this civilization, society. Because we're used to the ego mind existence. We are not used to heart-mindedness, which is our natural state of being. By being in the now and practicing being in the now 24/7, you begin to move yourself into heart-mind and out of ego mind. You walk away from ego mind. You walk away from it. You're not angry with it. It's a great teacher, right? But you walk away from it. There's nothing more that we need to learn about ego mind. We have done it for countless lifetimes. And now we walk away from it and we walk into heart-mindedness. The heart's much, much more powerful than the ego mind, the heart mind. It really is. In fact, the heart mind will supervise and manage and master the ego mind. Because all the ego mind's looking for, as I have mentioned, is peace. That's it. And it doesn't believe that it is part of the one. It has no clue that it is. And in ego mind, we all suffer. We worry, we stress, we fear, insecurities, lack of confidence, trust, and faith in ourselves and the universe. It all stems from a highly insecure ego mind, constantly looking for things out there to satisfy it, always believing it's right and never believing it's wrong. Isn't that a fine how do you do? So it no longer serves the purpose it used to. More and more people are moving out of it by choice. Okay. What does that mean for the planet and all life? The end of conflict. The end of hatred. Huh? The end of anger. The end of destruction. The end of lack of respect. And the beginnings of deep eternal love for oneself and all things. Now you begin to see the actual shift of energetics and frequencies that what? Are changing the planet to where it was in the beginning of a God-planet paradise. Because this planet will be our paradise. Us gods, you will know who you are and what you are. All of us will. There won't be proving this and proving that and besting this and besting that. It'll be an all-knowing energetic. And we'll float and create and manifest our lives so that we can experience. And we really are loaded up with the many lifetimes that we have spent in ego mind. I mean, that's powerful. And now we're going to get loaded up on heart mind. That's how it works. And everything around us, we direct. Look at it this way. You look out of the eyes of this body, right, as the God that you are, and you look around, and you notice everything. And this is what we begin to recognize. Everything is a form of energy. Okay? Everything. You are a highly concentrated form of pure consciousness and energetics. So you can direct all this energy into form. In other words, manifesting things into your life so that you can experience them. Knowingly. Now, there's always an unknown. We do that on purpose. So you manifest something, and there's a little bit that you do to it, tweak it. So there's a little areas that can have all kinds of possibilities. Okay? And that's what makes things more interesting with our childlike curiosity. So we don't like to get bored, so we create things so we aren't bored. And we create them in this life so that, and it's redundant and it sounds repetitive, so that we can, the only reason is for us to experience. The more we experience, the more we gain the knowledge of creation, creating, manifesting. How do you think these universes came together? How do you think all these species of intelligent life came about? The construct of universes where it's funny because on this planet, just about everything is geared towards what? Doom and gloom, right? Low frequency. So, of course, as I've mentioned, you look at a black hole, right? Which is kind of like a debris vacuum. And then it's funny because only half of things are discussed in this universe, if that. And those half of things are twisted. So why don't we talk about the white hole? There is, see? There's always an opposite. Remember, in all things. Not just this and that. There's always an opposite in all things. It's a balance, see? So things don't get lopsided like they ended up happening on this planet. Evil got very lopsided, and manipulation and deception, greed, and it's just silly. It's absolutely silly that's been going on this planet for a very, very, very long time. So what does the white hole do? It creates. It pushes out creations, planetary solar systems, and all forms of experiences and energetics. It helps create the universe. One takes away, one gives. It's like this universe. You can communicate with the universe all the time. You just don't know how. People don't know how. You like to communicate with the universe. Well, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Communicate with the universe. That sounds crazy. Since we're part of the universe. You always go back. It kind of sets a balance in perception. You look at the analogy of the golden ocean, and then you say to yourself, okay, so I am a drop of that ocean, but I also hold the essence of that ocean. So in reality, I am that ocean. When I fall into the ocean, I become the ocean. It's the same with the universe. You're the universe, universe is you. You're a piece of the universe. And all connecting universes. You're a piece. So therefore you are. That puts things in perspective. You really don't look at the scope and the size and any of that stuff. That's all illusion. So we're all pieces of the same whole. And we are all omnipotently powerful. So when you want to communicate with the universe, start communicating with the universe. Communicate in numbers. You can research them yourself. Oh, and there's all kinds of discrediting that goes on because the evil forces, the dark forces, do not care to have this civilization discover. They don't. They don't care to have the civilization discover truth. That's why it's been twisted for so many eons. What would happen? Well, they would no longer control you. Kind of like if as a kid, did you ever have an ant farm? Right? And there's the ant farm. You have all these ants inside this container, and you're watching sand, little buildings and stuff, and so you watch the ants go about their business. And you're controlling the ants because you have them contained in this container. There's no escape, right? And you drop some little food granules in there, and then they eat and water and so on and so forth. And they're for you. They're entertainment for you. And you get fun out of it. Years ago, we used to have ant farms, and kids would get them as gifts and stuff, and they were a big thing. I know it sounds silly, but it's true. Now, take it many levels more. We're the ants, and there are those that control us 24/7, watching us, viewing us, knowing exactly what we do, how we do it, so on and so forth. Is that a natural state of being? No. It's a interference, obstruction. It's a misguidedness, right? These things are created so that we master them. Okay. Now, with the redundant cycling on this planet and these bodies, it makes it very challenging to master many things. This is why we begin to train ourselves, take more notice on things around us, concentrate on you and what you want or desire for a life. See, we get so distracted in physical that we abandon our spiritual. So religion is created to fill that void, to distract us even more. Isn't that wild? So we become more distracted. And religion has been around for a very, very, very long time. And if you really want to get down to it, the religion is praying to the God that you are within that body. You're not going to get any more intimate with anything than that, which also leads you into discovering that you are the God, that you are the Creator, that you're the heaven, that you're the kingdom of God, all of it. You are not separate. None of us have ever been separate from any of it. We have just been misinformed for a really, really, really long time. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body, focused on your breath rising and falling. No matter how small or stuck you feel, you can always find a way to transcend it. For today, I invite you to dream big. Let yourself explore a new dimension of your greatest power. Your imagination. Start with creating a movie image of what you want your life to look like, feel like, sound like, taste like, and hold that vision all day long. Anytime your mind wanders, return to it. Stick to it like super glue. For this one day, as much as you can, you'll be pleasantly surprised how much you stretch yourself and your mind with this one exercise. Enjoy. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, the following morning. We'll return here tonight, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our Time for Change call. And Thursday, October 23, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest of the purest, purest, eternal gratitude at all times. No matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart. Allow the magic to flow in.